Welcome back to another Yorkshire Pop Top Adventures video. I hope you're all well. In this video we're going to be talking about the camping essentials that we use in the van. By no means is it for everybody, and I totally get that, but there might be one thing that you've not thought about in this video that you will really want to have in your van. This video isn't really for the Bear Grylls type, shall we say. So if you like going camping with a knife, a water bottle and a flint, then this is not for you. This is for the people like me who like luxuries in the van and or extra accessories and stuff like that. So if you're the Bear Grylls type, this one's probably not for you. Okay, so let's get into it. Accessory number one. Nice. It's kind of in two parts, is this one. Now, it's a folding fire pit. With the mesh fire pits, they are always in the van. Alongside that, I've also just bought a, it's like a grass protector foil thing. Now that it's about 1 metre squared, and that basically goes underneath the mesh fire pit onto the grass to stop it from damaging it. The one thing I've noticed about the mesh fire pits is that, you know, they do get warm and they still do scorch the grass. Accessory number two, a waterproof mat for outside the van. Now, some of you eagle-eyed viewers and regular subscribers to the channel will have seen me use this loads and loads of times, and I absolutely love it. I'll use this on dusty floors so then I'm not bringing all the dust and muck into the van. What I normally do is lay this one out and peg it down so it doesn't blow away, but if we've got like deck chairs on there and tables, it usually stays in place. This one is a specific VW one because I got this from Camper Jam when I was last there, and it's held out really well. Couldn't do without it. Goes on pretty much every single trip we go on, and yeah, it's ace. Accessory number three is the Humble Camping Stove. Now, this is a one from Amazon that takes a standard gas canister thing. You can pick up all sorts of different ones like High Gear from Go Outdoors. There's loads on Amazon. I'll put a link into the description for this specific one because I liked it because it was super low profile. It's really thin, so it fits in my cupboards really well. The reason we use these is because we like cooking outside, because it keeps the smells out of the van. We've recently got rid of our hob and sink unit because we never really used it, and since using these now outside, all the smells stay out there. This comes off and you can take that down to the washing facilities and clean it if you get all like gunk on it and stuff like that. So accessory number four is probably, and I'm guessing, the most important thing that anybody should have in their van, and it's the Humble fire extinguisher. Now, we've just recently moved our fire extinguisher to a more accessible point. We had it in a cupboard underneath, and it meant that when the bed was out we couldn't get to it, so now it's just in here so we can get to it at all times regardless of whether the bed's out or not. Do check, some of them have dates. In fact, most of them I think have dates on them somewhere printed on the bottle, just to make sure it's not out of date, because you don't want to come to use it and then it not work. But yeah, a super important accessory is this one to have in the van at all times. Accessory number five is something that we couldn't do without in the van because we hate rattles, and inherently cutlery and things like that are gonna rattle if you've got them in some sort of cutlery drawer within the van. So the accessory is carpeted interior drawer with little inserts. What I've done is I have, and it's not something really you can buy, so I can't put a link in the description, I've created sections within the drawer, carpeted them. I've made some of them removable so we can resize them should anything change, and now nothing at all rattles in that drawer because it's carpeted and it's just muted, and it's like Accessory number six is the Ridge Monkey water bottle. Now, I get asked about this so many times in the videos. This is the 5 litre version. I got it from Angling Direct. Other places do sell them, like Amazon and or Ridge Monkey Direct, or you can go to like a show and things like that. I've seen this at various shows. There are bigger versions of these, but we found that this size, the 5 litre one, is perfect for the size of camper van that we've got. So yeah, Ridge Monkey water bottle, go get one. They are ace. So something that's not necessarily an accessory, but something that we find invaluable in our van, which is the overhead locker. Now, this is above the kitchen units, and we use this all of the time. When I open this, you'll see how much stuff we've got in there. We didn't want any of that on show, so we put a cupboard door on it, which is just MDF and laminated with a standard push button camper van kind of attachment thing. And we use this all of the time. Right, I've lost track, I'm not even counting anymore. But what I'm going to do is a slight diversion into one thing that we bought for the van but don't use, and that's one of these coffee kind of maker things. Now, they look great on photos, they look lovely hung up, it's a great ornament, but it's an utter faff to use. Some of you may have nailed it, absolutely have this down to a tea or a coffee, whatever, but I can't get my head around it. I don't enjoy using it. What I do use is the Aero Press. Now, I absolutely love the Aero Press. It's an art to use, and again, it's probably because I wanted to use this more than I wanted to use this, and I'm sure if I use this more, then I'd get used to it, blah, blah, blah. However, this is just a case of folding it up, putting a filter in it, pouring coffee in, and off you go. I use this in most of my videos. As you will notice if you're a regular watcher of the channel, it compacts down to this size, which, you know, it's not actually much different size to a standard one. However, it makes 1 cup of coffee, and that's great for me when I'm on the road on my own. Perfect. Michelle is not really a massive coffee drinker, so in the morning we'll boil the kettle, she'll make a cup of tea, and I'll make a cup of coffee out of this as well. But yeah, Aero Press, awesome. So the next accessory on the list are camping pegs. Now, not just normal or standard camping pegs. These are super tough ones. These can go into unobtainium. You're going to need a proper hammer to smack these bad boys in. I've got a claw hammer in the van, just in the back there. If you don't know what a claw hammer is, I'll put a picture up on the screen. And the claw hammer comes in handy for 2 reasons. Not only smacking these in, because a rubber hammer's not going to do much with these and you're probably going to damage the rubber hammer. The claw hammer is really useful for getting these bad boys back out again. But, you know, it's a great little addition that I think is a must for anybody who's got awnings or tents or toilet tents or anything you need to pin down outside your van. Nice. So the next accessory for those who don't have a rollout awning already attached to their van is a awning. Now, this is basically just a tarpaulin. It's by Wild Earth, and they are cheap. I think they're about 90 quid. You can either buy them direct from Wild Earth and or Amazon. I got mine from Amazon, and it's super small. It doesn't take up hardly any room. It takes up the same space as a one-man tent, and absolutely invaluable, I think, for shorter trips where you don't want to put up a huge awning. The next accessory is the fold-away chair. Now, I absolutely love this. It's not a great make. In fact, I don't even know what you are pro. No idea. It's just because I'm a cheap ass from Yorkshire. I don't like spending loads of money on the big brands. This has held up quite well. We only bought one initially to see what they were like. Michelle thinks they're comfortable enough for a 2-week holiday, so I'm going to buy 2 more of these so then we can take them away on holiday with us when we go away this year. The only problem I see with them is they are so light that when they're set up, they catch the wind and you can come back to your van and your chair's at the other side of the campsite. So you have to weigh them down and or pin them down or put them into your van when you go out for a walk. Otherwise, they're not going to be there when you get back, and you're going to be blaming Dave in the next door caravan like he's nicked your chairs, and he hasn't. They've just blown across to his site. These are about 35 quid on Amazon's. So yeah, camping chair, fold away. They're really nice. I like them. Lovely. Next one. So the next accessory is something that we all need at some point in the van, and that is a lighter. Now, this isn't a normal lighter. This is what they call a plasma lighter. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it uses plasma off of the suns. No idea. Anyway, it looks like a vape. It's not, so YouTube don't cancel me. You can charge this up via USB. It's a micro USB on this specific one, and you switch it on. Light comes on at the bottom, and then you've got nice. You can no, don't do that. It's been brilliant for us. I mean, I can't really talk about it much longer, but it is what it is. Again, I'll put a link in the description below. I think these are utterly essential because you can just charge them up and use them wherever, whenever, just like Shakira says. Nice. So next on the list is the Humble Electric Kettle. It's by Russell Hobbs, and it's a low watt kettle as well, because some campsites do restrict the amount of watts that you can draw at any one time. We use this all the time when we're on electric hookup because it saves us using our gas and kettle and faff. Just pour water in it, plug it in, switch it on. Everyone's a winner, baby, that's the truth. It really, really does come in handy. It takes a little bit longer than a standard kettle to boil, especially when it's full. You're probably talking about 5 or 6 minutes for it to boil. If this broke, I would go out and buy another one tomorrow. So yeah, the Russell Hobbs electric kettle, it's awesome. Go and get one. Right, so the next thing on the list, this divides quite a few of you. I've featured it on the channel quite a bit, and that is the Induction Hob. Now, this is a Induction Hob that I picked up from the Caravan and Motorhome show last year, and it's classed as a low watt induction hob. It works when we are on electric hookup, and it also works on our EcoFlow battery as well, which is the Delta 2. And it means that we can use this induction hob when we're plugged in at campsites to save us using gas, and also when we're off grid, again, to save us using gas. Now, we like to have both options, because if this breaks, you know, then we're without any kind of cooking facilities, so that's why we've got gas and an induction hob. 2 little bonus tips in between the accessories list is, number 1, plastic bags. Bring loads of them, because not only are they great for throwing your rubbish away, but they're also great for putting wet and dirty and or smelly clothes in, should you have been on a big walk or a big bike ride or whatever. It's always good to have those sealed away in a plastic bag to keep the smells out, to keep the condensation out as well, because if you bring wet and damp clothes into the van, it's going to make more condensation in the van. So yeah, accessory number extra one, I don't know, whatever. Second little bonus item is bring a list and or a menu, because it makes things so much easier. We've got a list that's always written of all the things that we always take when we go camping, because sometimes they get taken out the van, sometimes they stay in the van, but it's nice to check that little list just to make sure you've got everything. And then what we do is, depending on where we're going and what we're doing, we'll continue that list, print it out, and then use that as our packing list, and then we know that we've got everything. Another essential accessory, which I think everybody who watches this channel should have in their vans, is a Yorkshire Pop Top Adventures mug. Oh yes, go get one, they are lovely. We now do them without the VW logo in the middle, and I'll put a link in the description to where you can buy them. Go get one, they're amazing. Nice! Moving on to the next essential is a head torch or a handheld torch or whatever it is you've got. Now, you will have noticed in the last video when I was walking back from the pub in the dark along the paths and things like that, I did need a torch. You can get loads of different ones. This is a Coleman one from Go Outdoors. Again, I'll put a link in the description below. I used to use this when I went wild camping in a tent on the top of a fell, and it's brilliant. It's got 3 different modes. It's got like a light, like a red one, I don't know if you can see it, and then a light, and then a super bright, and that's basically all it does. And it basically means that you can wear it on your head like a div, like that, and then you can walk with free hands, so you can do like rock and roll or yeah man. Umbrellas, absolutely essential in the van. We didn't realise how much we would need an umbrella until we got them, and we use them all the time. We've probably used them far too many times this year already, because for some bizarre reason every time I go out it always rains. Can't really talk about it that much. This one is just from Primark. They're about 4 or 5 quid. They're inexpensive, and they do the job in a pinch. So the next addition to any camper vanist that wants to go away in the UK or to northern climates where it's a little bit colder or chillier is a hot water bottle. I cannot live without my water bottle. It is amazing. This is next level. When you fill this with hot water, shove it in your sleeping bag, and then get into bed, it's just warmthness. It's just awesome. I absolutely love it. One subscriber did tell me to check the date on these bad boys. They only last a certain amount of time, so just keep an eye on the date on them, because you don't want them splitting and putting loads of hot water on you. This is a relatively new one. I've only had it about 6 months, so there's plenty of life left in this. It's great. You pop the kettle on, fill it up. I'm telling you how to use a hot water bottle. You know how to use them, get one, they're ace. So on the last accessory video, I showed you one of these, which is a electric hookup adapter to a normal UK plug adapter. As much as they are great, and that was in the last essentials video, we have realised that if you are going to the continent, you're going to need something like this, which has a different adapter on it. If I can just block my face, there you go. So this is more like an international, well, this is specifically for France. You could obviously adapt this to use, you know, one of those separate adapters, travel adapter and things like that. But I found that this, with it being like a sealed unit and stuff, tends to, in my mind, I feel a little bit safer with that than I would do a separate unit. The next item on our accessories list is a fold-away bin that hooks over the door. It's fairly low profile, but it also pops out like that and also like that. So you've got a bigger bin. It's great for those times when you just want to throw something in a bin, you don't want to go to a big plastic bag outside or whatever, or you don't have a plastic bag in the van and you just want to throw away some bits just to keep the place tidy. This is ace. Link will be in the description below. There's even a little compartment just down here so you can put in rolled bin liners that will fit this. Yeah, nice, absolutely awesome. Yeah, get one of those, they're ace. So the next item on the list is a fan. Now, it doesn't have to be this specific fan, it could be a bigger one, it could be a smaller one, but this one we found works really well. It charges up via USB on the side, and it's variable, so you can have it on low or smash it up to full. Now, it's not super loud, which is something we really like, because we can have it on at night time, and it helps just push the air around a little bit if it gets a bit too stuffy inside the van. It also helps get rid of any smells and or fumes that are in the van while we're cooking, if we do have to cook inside the van. So yeah, a little essential accessory. This has got a little clip on it, and I basically just pop it up there and it's ready to go whenever. And if we do need to charge it, I just run a charger lead from there into this light, because it's got a little USB socket and can charge it from where it's at, which is ace. So the next accessory on the list is absolutely Marmite. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. Now, this divides opinions all the time. I see it online in all the communities. People hate them, people love them, people use them wrong, people use them right. However you want to use your dry robe, then I think they're an absolute essential in the van. Certainly if you live in climate like the UK, where even in summer it can drop to 5 degrees when you sit outside your van. We love them. We bought them mainly because we paddleboard a lot and we like to spend time in the sea when we're out on holiday, so it's nice to get that on just to be nice and warm. So the next thing on the list is a toaster. This is a toaster that goes on your burner. And regardless of whether you've got a burner in your van or you've got those camping portable stoves, I can't find it now, there's a big mess below me that you can't see. But yeah, this little toaster rack is absolutely awesome. This bit goes onto the mesh bit goes onto the fire ring, and what that does is it distributes the heat a little bit better, which then gives you nice even toast. I'll be honest with you, we did burn toast the first couple of times we used it, but eventually we got used to it, kept turning the toast over, and it works an absolute dream. So if you like toast in your van, get one of these. Next item on the list is a heat-proof mat. Again, I'll put a link in the description below. This heat-proof mat means that we can cook on pans and things like that, and then put the pan on top of this to stop it burning any surfaces that we might have in the van and or outside the van. Also, I sometimes put this on my knee when I'm eating out of a pan because I don't like doing many washings up, so it's nice to have this just on my knee to stop me from burning my knee. Although, to be fair, I have burnt my knee a few times because I forgot we had this. Little tubs. These little tubs are absolutely invaluable. Again, we just got them from a local store. You can get them online. These are ones that are sealed, so they've got a little rubber gasket in them. Just in there, and you can see the blue line, and that basically means that I can put coffee and or perishables in these, and they will stay as fresh as they would have done if they were in a sealed packet. So yeah, get one with a rubber seal, and that works out pretty fine. And then, you know, we bought the ones that fit our cupboard because, you know, everyone's cupboards are slightly different, but, you know, we've got some slightly larger ones in here. This one's got porridge in it. Again, it's got the rubber seal that goes all the way around. This porridge is as fresh as the day I put it in there, and for some reason I've got a clay pigeon in there. I think we found it at the last place we stayed at. A friend of mine did put stickers on theirs and then put dates on them, so when they'd refilled it with coffee, they put the date that they'd refilled it, so then they knew, you know, if it was going off, or they put the expiry date, which was on the original packaging, so then they knew when it was time to change it. So yeah, nice little tip there that I might do myself further down the line. So another awesome addition that we have in the van that we now know we can't live without is our seat shelf. I made my own seat shelf, and there's a link in the description below to where you can see me building that. However, you can buy them straight off the shelf from a company, funnily enough, called Seatshelf. So yeah, whichever one you want to do, then yeah, go ahead and do it. I'll put a link to Seatshelf as well in the description below. Don't get one if you don't want to not have to live without it. So another addition to the van which we absolutely love is our rear seat organiser. Now with this on, the seat will still swivel, and we put things in there like head torches, so we've got head torches in there. In here we can put sandwiches because it's got like an insulating layer. It's not a layer, that's somewhere where a baddie lives, isn't it? It's got an insulating layer that means that we could put some ice packs in there and some sandwiches and some Coke cans, whatever, and they will keep cold in there for a period of time if we didn't want to turn the fridge on. At the moment, we're keeping a Dock and Bay towel cold in there, which is nice. But yeah, that's lovely. And then up front there, we've got like site maps for campsites and things like that. Anywhere that we go, it just goes in there and it's out of the way. This is from UK Custom Covers, hashtag not sponsored. I got the Sportline one, so it matched my seat covers as well. I was given this to review, but I've already reviewed that on the channel further down the line, so this is not sponsored. This is just something that we use all the time in the van. Nice. Another essential in your camper van, if you're wanting to use it more comfortably than a Bear Grylls style mission, is a external battery bank. I've got the EcoFlow Delta 2 at the moment, but you can get Jackeries, you can get Bluettis. There's lots and lots of different variations out there. Some of them are more expensive than others. Just buy one to your budget. But I think it's brilliant to have one of those in your van, so you can use Kettle off-grid, hair straighteners off-grid, Induction Hob off-grid. Some of you regular viewers of the channel will have seen me using the Induction Hob while I've been off-grid, which is brilliant. I'm not using my gas, and then I charge it up via solar, which means that actually it's not costing me anything to run and or charge up. So win-win for me as a Yorkshireman anyway. Another option you could get is an inverter which wires into your leisure battery, so you can use 240 volt appliances that way. Just double check the capacity of your leisure battery, because you don't want to be running that down to zero, because it could damage the cells. But yeah, that's a way cheaper alternative than buying an external battery bank. If you don't want to be taking it out of the van and using it in other places, then maybe an inverter and a higher capacity battery would be definitely the cheaper option for you to go for. So yeah, off-grid electrics, that's an essential, isn't it? Of course it is. Nice. Next. Don't sing it, Cole. Don't sing it. Don't sing it. Don't sing it, Cole. Don't sing it, Cole. Don't sing it, Cole. Portaloo. What is... Sorry. A Portaloo, an absolute essential in my mind in the van. Now I'm over 40. We use this all the time at night, so it's great to have at the bottom of the bed, so then we don't have to get up, get out of the van, walk all the way to the toilet block, get cold, you're wide awake to come back and then have to get back to sleep again. So having this in our van is an absolute essential. So yeah, highly recommend it. The Thetford Porta Potty 365. while I'm on the subject of the Porta Potty, the most asked question that this channel has had is, where did you get your Porta Potty cover from? It's from Amazon. I'll try my hardest to find a link in the description because they just disappeared off the face of the planet and I have no idea why. It is brilliant. It's kind of like a pleather that just goes over the Porta Potty. This one's specifically for the 365 and it fits over there perfectly, and not only that, it works as a seat and that's lovely. It means I don't have to look at this toilet while I'm having my burgers in the van. It can stay in the van without any problems, although sometimes we do put it outside in the toilet tent, but this is an absolute essential. Another accessory I get asked quite a lot about on this channel are the glasses that I have got stuck upside down onto my overhead locker. Now these glasses are from a company called Silwy, S-I-L-W-Y, again link in the description below, hashtag not sponsored. These are proper glass and I love drinking wine out of a proper glass. I know it's not very Yorkshireman of me, but yeah, these are ace, and these have basically got a magnet built in, so it's actually within the glass. It must be done when they make the glass and form the glass. Don't quite know how it works, but I know it works. And the company provide magnetic strips, or just metal strips that the magnets will click to. They do all sorts of things. They do beakers, and you know, they do mats as well. I've got a mat actually just in here. I don't know if you notice, just on this shelf here. Just move that, and that is it's like a metal mat and it's sticky, and then the glass can go on there, and it's absolutely fine. Do you know what I mean? So I've driven with that glass there, and it's not fallen off at all. So yeah, I absolutely love having these glasses in the van, just like that. They're not cheap. Well, for glasses, they're not cheap. You're probably talking about 30 quid for a set of glasses. But, you know, for the convenience of it, and I get asked quite a lot about it, I think they're an absolute essential accessory if you like drinking wine out of a proper wine glass, and or beer glass. I do beer glasses as well, and beakers. Have a look on their website, they're ace. Okay, moving on. Solar panels, an absolute essential for any vanist, no matter how large or small a van you have got. Even if you've got a 10, a fold-out solar panel is brilliant because it helps keep your leisure battery charged up. You can use it to keep other things charged up. They're just a really great little addition to help you with your daily van life while you're on holiday. Not only that, it helps keep my leisure battery topped up when I'm not using it, so I know it's always going to be at 100% every time I get in the van. So yeah, solar panels, get some. No matter what you get, you can get rigid ones, get flexible ones, whatever you want to go for, they are amazing. You can install them yourself or get a professional to install them, whatever you are most comfortable with. But yes, solar panels for me, absolutely essential. And finally, but by no means least, is my swing out table. I absolutely love this. I've used this to cook on, I've used this to just put beer on while I'm outside. It's nice to have it, it's nice to lean on and you know, do posing and calls and stuff like that. This is just a tabletop from one of those fold out tables from B&M that I put on, and then the swing out bracket down here, I'll put a link in the description below. I think I got it from Van X or somebody like that. Wherever it is, I'll put a link down below. Swing out table, it's nice. Thank you for watching the updated essentials video. There are so many more essentials that you could buy or could have in your van, but I could go on all day about the stuff that I don't have yet. Coming up in a future video, I'm going to do a video of all the things that I bought for the van but never used, things that I were advised to buy, and then we're just like, I'm never using that, I just don't use it, and it just clogged up the van, so I took them all out. So that's coming up soon in a future video. But next week's video is my visit to Wold Farm campsite in Flamborough, or just outside Flamborough on the east coast of Yorkshire, and I can't wait for you guys to see that. There'll be a full campsite tour, and if you've got this far in the video and you've not fallen asleep, then please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Take care guys, and I shall see you on the next adventure. See you, bye. Cole, you've got this. And I wasn't recording. Oh no. Just done a whole piece to camera, which was freaking awesome. And I wasn't even recording. Brilliant. I'll be doing a full campsite tour on there, and you'll. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another Yorkshire Pop Top Adventures. Welcome back to another Yorkshire Pop Top. Cooking outside keeps the smells outside. Stops. In fact, let's just do number 3 again. What are you doing? Get off my land. So accessory number 5 is the 5. The dog doesn't need one. I could get him one of those hats, couldn't I? That's like, you know, like one that he wears. That'd be ace.